Hi, do you have a long career gap on your profile? You see a job opening, you know you're perfect for it, you have the right skills and experience, but the hiring manager is not shortlisting you. You're not getting that interview call. Is that your case? Then watch this video till the end because I'll tell you golden strategies to explain that career gap to the employer and still convince them about your candidacy. Let's go right in. If you're a professional looking for the next best job, I want you to subscribe to my channel because I'm posting job search related videos every week. I do not want you to miss out on those strategies. So just click that subscribe button and notification button on YouTube. Now coming back to career gap related issue. See, I understand life is never a smooth ride and stuff happens. Did you have to take care of your family, your children? Were you falling sick? Did you have to relocate? Or you couldn't get a good job and that's why you have a long career gap? I understand. But you know what? Many people have such gaps on their career. And you need not be worrying about it. All you need to do is know how to explain that gap to the hiring manager and employer. And that's what I'll tell you about it in this video. I'll give you one golden strategy even before we get into the details. You gotta face it head on. I know it may feel scary. I know your natural instincts are telling you to hide it, put it under the cover. But the hiring managers will know it anyway, right? Looking at your gap, looking at your profile, they'll know about that gap anyway. So after watching this video, I want you to face that head on, explain that in a perfect way, in an assertive manner, with a positive mindset. And I'll tell you today how to do that. Okay, so even if it feels scary for you, you got to face it head on rather than running away from it and hiding it. Okay, now let's go in detail. See, let's look at what is gap. Okay, see, gap is any period of time for which you were not working or you were not employed. In that case, freelancing or you were doing a business is not a career gap. Okay, typical reasons for a gap are you had to take care of your family or children, or you were falling sick again and again, or and you needed time to recover from some illness. You had to relocate, or you were preparing for some entrance exam, or you were enrolled in some training program, or you couldn't find a good job after being laid off, or you had to resign your last job and there was a time gap, till the time you got the next job, or you had to relocate, or you got into a business which failed and you took some time to come out of it and then find the next job, or you just took time out to do self development, self exploration, travel the world, any of that sort. See, these are all accepted ways or reasons for career gap. Okay, now let's look at why employers don't like people with career gaps. Let's try to understand their perspective here. See, they do not want to take risk on you because they have other candidates. Because they have other candidates, they do not want to shortlist you. See, they do not want to make mistakes called as hiring mistakes, which because it costs them a lot. They do not want to take a bet on you because they are afraid that you are no longer a good professional. You are no longer hands on your skills. Or probably you couldn't get your next job. No one was ready to hire you, or nobody wants to work with you. You have commitment issues, or your skills and experience are out of date. So all these things are going through their mind and they do not want to get into that and they just reject you outright. And that's why you are not getting your profile shortlisted when they look at this gap. Now let's come to how you are going to deal with it. And I want you to take notes and immediately pick some of the strategies which I'm going to tell you and improve upon your resume and prepare your answer for interviews right after watching that video. You can also comment below what is your problem, okay? What type of gap you have. You just type in the comment below. And after watching this video, you can also write how you are going to answer that. I'll be personally checking your answers, your comments, and I'll be replying to all your comments. Why don't you do that right at the end of this video? Let's come back to how to deal with this career gap. How to explain your career gap head on. First of all, your mindset. I want you to be proactive, assertive about it. I want you to explain them the reason for having that gap, but approach that with a positive mindset. Instead of saying gap, you might want to use the word transition. I know you will say it's just a word, but the way you put it, you start thinking differently and the other people. See, and after watching the rest of the video, you prepare your answer, and still, if there are some employers who do not want to understand that, who still do not want to shortlist you, you know what? Those employers are not worth anyway. Okay, so watch this video, carefully plan your next steps, your explanation, and I'm sure you will start getting shortlisted. But still, if there are some employers who still do not want to take a bet on you, they are not worth your time anyway. So that should be your mindset first. I want you to write a clear explanation for your gap. Be very crisp and brief about it. Okay, this happened, this happened, this happened. That's all. 3 lines, that's all. Don't ramble on. Don't try to defend it and create a big story out of it. Otherwise, what will happen? Rest of the interview will get into that rather than the actual candidacy related questions, right? So I want you to be brief, crisp about it, and immediately steer away your conversation towards other topics. And I'll tell you how to do that. See, you got to see this as your weakness, but you want to turn that into a strength, right? So you can say, for example, you can say that if the gap is because of job hunting, you can say, hey, I was being selective about my next job because it was 10 years into the career. I didn't want to join any company. I was very selective, and that's why it took some time for me to uh, get that dream job. And economy was also down at that time, and that's why it took me some more time. That's it. Immediately move to the next topic. Or you can say that that's the past. At that time my family needed me and I had to take that gap, but now there is not an issue. My family has been very supportive. I'm fully capable and ready for the full-time employment, and I'm super excited for this position. Or another strength could be, hey, I can start the next day, right? See, if they are interviewing other candidates who are currently employed, they wouldn't be able to do that, right? So this is another strength you have. Another thing you can do is show upgrade. You will say, yes, I was not employed at that time, but I took course 1, course 2, course 3. I enrolled for this workshop. I learned this new skill. And you can say that how you are still hands-on the technical skills. You can even show some freelancing work, or you help with your friend's business, or you just help build someone a new website, or you volunteered for an NGO, whatever, just to show that you're still an active hands-on professional. Even if you do not have any of this, you can still show better life skills. For example, you're a woman who had to take care of family and children for quite some time. You can say, see, because of that experience, I am now more organized, I'm more patient, and you know what? Your role really needs that. that kind of answers. So you should know how to answer your gap and immediately steer that conversation into your strength and the next topic, which is another strength. Okay. And my final comment is, see, the next thing I was saying, steer the conversation to the next thing should be your value. So you got to show confidence that in spite of that gap, that just life, you are fully ready, you are fully capable for that role. How can you show that confidence, that value you bring to the table, right? How can you show that you are still hands on with the skill? How can you show that you are committed now? And how can you show you have deep passion to join that particular company? So you got to have a very strong interview. Otherwise, they are again not going to hire you. And suppose you are putting this on resume or LinkedIn, do not hide it. You can put like a consultant or a freelancer or a sabbatical or a career break. You can try, you can write any of this and make sure you are writing, you are showing that gap yourself. Okay, instead of them making judgments about you. And in that only you can write, what did you do? Okay, raised a family, any voluntary work you did, any project you completed, improved your skills. You want to write bullet points even about it. Okay, so this is the way you can explain the career gap on your resume. I've already told you how to explain your career gap during interviews. And my last tip is, it all starts with your mindset. If you feel, oh, it's a big problem, your career is going to go down, you cannot solve this, then it will not get solved. Because I've told you enough today. Please watch this video again if you have to. Let me know in the comments what is your career gap and how are you going to answer it. I'll definitely reply to all your comments. I look forward to your comments below on LinkedIn or on YouTube, right? And this is the way you will explain career gap. If you know you have value to bring to the company, this career gap can be just a short weakness you can have. If you know how to explain that properly, I think it should not be a problem to convince your next employer. All right. I hope you like this video. Please do click on that like button, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.